All right, we're rolling. Anytime you're ready.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say how pleased I am to be with my compadres here. Whether I served with them directly or not, I look upon all of them as good friends, and I feel privileged to know them. I came to the Hawk family in 1964. I had returned from an overseas tour in Manila and was posted to 29 Palms. And when I got to 29 Palms, I was interviewed by the base sergeant major, who made I was the first sergeant then, and he made all of the first sergeant assignments. And he said, we need a first sergeant over at 2nd Lamb Battalion. And I said, what's that? And he introduced me to the guy that was acting first sergeant, and I found a home there. And it was with B Battery, Bravo Battery of 2nd Lamb Battalion. A short while later, a couple of months or so, my former commanding officer in Manila, who was Colonel Pennico, at that time Major Pennico, came to 29 Palms, the 2nd Lamb Battalion, so we were thrown back together again. He is executive officer of the battalion, and he later took over as commanding officer. So it was like old home week for a while there. And I knew absolutely nothing about lambs, and to this day don't know a hell of a lot. And did I swear? I shouldn't.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
And I really enjoyed my tour there. I had a great battery. There were some good guys, one or two misfits, but and we went out on a couple of shoots. We went to Yuma, and one of the highlights was that the Marine Corps got together with the U.S. Army to jointly test some equipment. And B Battery was chosen as a Marine Corps unit to participate, and we went over to Camp Roberts on the coast of California. Spent about a month or so there with the Army, and that was an experience in itself. Then came the call to action, and we went overseas. Went to Chulai in Vietnam, and the battalion set up in various batteries in various locations around the Chulai area. And B Battery had a good spot on the coast, and one of the things I remember was that B Battery had a 50 caliber machine gun, and we don't know really where it came from or why nobody else had it, but B Battery had the sole 50 caliber machine gun in the battalion, and we had it mounted on the cliffs overlooking our position, and it was kind of a feather in our cap. We were the cannoneers for the battalion, you might say. Not much else to say, but I retired in 1968 from the Marine Corps, but that was interrupted. I'm getting confused here now with years and months. I went from a call came out from Wing Headquarters that they needed first sergeants at Iwakuni, Japan. And since I had lost nothing in Vietnam and had no further use to stay there, I volunteered and ended up at Marine Wing Service Group 37 at Iwakuni and finished my overseas tour there. When it was time to come home from overseas, I went to the instructor staff of the 2nd Battalion, 23rd Marines, of all places, Santa Monica, California. and finished out my career there. While at Iwakuni, shortly before arriving there, I was promoted to sergeant major, and within 4 or 5 days, I was selected for warrant officer. So I didn't know which way to go. Part of me was ready to get out of the Marine Corps, and part of me said, well, stay in as warrant. Well, I went over to the squadron commander's hooch, his quarters one night, and we set a bottle of Jack Daniels on the table, and we sipped Jack Daniels and talked for a couple hours. And one of the things he told me, he said, if you accept warrant officer in lieu of sergeant major, I'm going to make you the mess officer, the war bonds officer, the casualty assistance officer. He named every off-color job in the squadron. And so I elected, also at the behest of my wife, elected to accept sergeant major, because I would only have had to do 2 more years then, and I was ready to retire. The Marine Corps was little by little passing me by. That was wrong, though, because now when I meet my friends over here, I get charged up and I want to go on active duty with them again. None of us are in physical shape to do that, and that's about my tale of woe for 2nd Land Battalion. Do you have any questions?
What was your total number of years that you were in the Marine Corps then?
25.
25 years.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I couldn't make up my mind whether I liked it or not.
You didn't tell us your name.
Oh, you keep posing those tough questions. My age, my name is John Dolly, Sergeant Major John R. Dolly, USMC, retired.
Okay.
And I have no more unless you have questions. Does the boss have any questions?
No, John.
He has never had any questions.
I've got answers.